Oh, there's a chocolate milk there. It's probably not YouTube appropriate, but that's okay. Okay, I've been on social media for maybe about, I don't know, like since I was a teenager. I think Instagram I probably joined when I was about 18 and I'm 29 now. So it's always just had a place in my life. For so long it was this place of sharing pictures and sharing stories, constantly wanting to show people what was going on in my life. And I've had long periods of addiction and coming out of it, and this constant cycle of trying to use it without it consuming me. But it's only, I think, in the last 2 years that I've started using Instagram as a means of sharing content and sharing something that could be of value to other people. I sort of came into the space of seeing its benefits because for me as a new artist, where I was sharing almost like raw footage of loops that I was creating, like experimentation and all these like new little bits, it kind of acted as a almost playground for me where I could share little bits, and it pushed me to challenge myself. And it's how I started a loop challenge, and I could see that there was a value in being able to put my art somewhere and share it. And it's definitely contributed to my growth as an artist. The problem that comes alongside that is we're only human, and I feel that the more I just got into this routine of sharing everything that I was doing, the more it became the forefront of my music. Like, I came back into making music because it made me feel alive. There was something there that I hadn't tapped into since I was a kid, and yeah, it woke something up in me, and I felt this new sense of wonder and curiosity. And I think this often happens when you're like a beginner at something. You have so much childlike curiosity when it comes to your art, but then along the way you might start to get a bit more critical, or you might become a bit more of a perfectionist. And I found that towards the end of this challenge, I ended up doing a 90-day loop challenge which spanned over an entire year, so I didn't do it every day. But towards the end of the challenge, I noticed that when I went to record a loop, there was this real pressure for it to be a good loop. And I remember at the end of that challenge, I said that I kind of wanted to take a step back from posting and come back to rediscovering that childlike curiosity of my music. And I sort of did that, but I didn't fully take a step back. And I think over time I've noticed that when I would go to create something musical and I would be in the excitement of what I had just created, there would be this want to go and post it, this want to go and receive external validation, especially after getting a few viral videos. It was almost like, yeah, then there was almost like this expectation of like knowing that whatever I'll post will gain some validation, or yeah, it gets to your head. There's no denying that. Like when you suddenly just grow, I think so many people, they like wish and wish to have this huge growth, and I don't think we realize like what that comes with. And I'm grateful that I had like almost a year of just posting with not that much feedback until I had this growth, because it meant that for a good part of my time as an artist I was posting and I wasn't gaining that much feedback. And that was also a bit of a struggle of mine, like, am I just shooting in the dark? Like, who even cares? But I think that was a real important part. So once I ended up gaining this following and almost having this group of people that were there for the music, part of me suddenly was like, oh, maybe there is a potential here to make music a career. Like, maybe not full time, but like there suddenly was this possibility of, oh, maybe I could gain something from the music from my social media. I think this is where things started to take a turn in terms of like my connection with music. It started to put this pressure on it and this expectation on it. And I definitely think it stopped me from being more experimental with my music and trying new things and challenging myself, because then it became, oh, I'm performing for people, I want to be good. Like, there's this perfectionist mentality. It's where you're just staying in one space because it feels comfortable and that's what you're good at, but you're not growing as an artist. During this time, I started to become a lot more stagnant, and I was doing a lot more events, but I was also losing that initial joy that I felt with music. So it kind of slipped away a little bit, not too much, but it was beginning to slip away, and I could sense that. Along the way, I just decided to like back away from doing too much. I definitely came back, hibernated a lot, I did a lot less events, and with that I started to like post less on social media until like there was one point where I just said, I'm gonna take a break from sharing music. There was like an intentional choice there, and that was when I started to create again for no one's eyes, not to perform, not for any validation, purely for the love of music. And it started to peak, and I started to get excited about learning new things and growing in that way, and being able to work on my craft just because I'm devoted to it, because I love doing what I do. I am now at the space where I have taken a full-on break from social media, and it's making me really reflect about how I would like to come back to it. I think when it comes to music and art, I do see such value in sharing art. Like, people, I want to consume art. People have always consumed art, but I feel like I don't want to be part of this trap of this social media validation train, which I actually made a loop about, and I'm going to post that soon. But this validation train of like constantly posting the short form stuff, getting hits, and I don't think as a human, like, you can do that consistently and not get sort of sucked into it. I think it's really, unless, I feel like the only way out of it is hiring someone else to do it for you. So I don't know, that's where I'm at, where I just don't feel like it's possible as an artist to constantly be posting and not let it morph your brain in ways. So yeah, I've really been rethinking. I read a book called Digital Minimalism, which I'm rereading. I read a while ago, but it really stuck with me the first time. But this time around, I think it's sticking more. And it talks about taking a step back from all these apps. And when you come back, you start to become like highly intentional with how you use it. If I let go of all this sort of external validation of needing music to make money, because I do find like once you start to put the pressure of money on art, for me, from my experience, it's killed it. And I find that I'm the happiest when I have like a day job that doesn't suck my soul. Like, for me, my day job, I'm a teaching assistant, and I get to create and make music in a quite freeing way during the day, and then like I still have space to work on my projects, especially during the holidays and things. So for me, this is like where I am happiest as a creative, and I don't think I would want to make music my full-time career unless it just happened in a way that made sense and I wasn't trying to do it that way, if that makes sense. But even with that, even if it became a possibility, I think I would still want to do what I do in working with children and bringing music there. I think that gives me a deep sense of purpose. So don't quit your day job. That's one thing that I would say. Take the pressure off the music. Just create with that curious mentality again. Like, how can you challenge yourself? How can you explore new things away from eyes? So when I sort of let go of all this external validation and kind of delve deeper into why I was craving that, and that comes back into like the validation kind of gives me something. Like, before I was quite insecure, and then suddenly I was being validated for my music, and it became like this identity of mine, and I was like clinging onto this identity. So anyway, you can kind of delve into why there is this craving for validation, but I think at the same time, humans all like, validation is nice, so it's very hard, even if you're like a super stable human, to start to get this like constant validation from people and not have this, I don't know, draw towards gaining more. I think it's quite difficult. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, and stepping away from this craving for external validation. Like, how do I want to share what I'm doing? How do I want to share my art? what it comes down to for me is longer form content in the form of YouTube, in the form of SoundCloud, working on projects, like working on tracks, like performing at events where the main focus is creating music for people to move to. Like that is the forefront of why I do what I want to do out in the real world. So I think starting from this point, I am going to dedicate more time to creating longer form recordings on SoundCloud, creating these videos where I love to combine dance and looping, and creating these longer videos because I feel like the true beauty in looping is the build. Like it's the slow build up, and these short clips, they can't capture that, the rise of energy that you feel as like a loop begins to slowly build. Because like oftentimes I would be in this excitement of a loop and I would be like, okay, let me record this bit, and I'd clip it and I'd post it. For me, it was like, that's so exciting, but I think I would forget that that excitement has been built over the period of the loop kind of slowly building, and that snippet doesn't quite capture that. So I feel like how I would like to do it from this point forward is create long form YouTube and then create a clip from that, post it on Instagram, and then if you want to come listen to the full thing, come listen. And that's about the extent of my relationship with Instagram for now, I think. Plus maybe things to do with like teaching and learning things, because I think those can be of value to people. Yeah, I definitely would like to delve more into sharing little tips and tricks with the Loop Station, what I'm learning in terms of dance music, because that's something where I want to delve deeper into. But yeah, I'm definitely taking a big step back from Instagram, and I am ready for that. Peace out, give it some music.
The validation train, it's the validation train. 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 Lovely, lovely.